Man, I got to tell you, if you do not know the the song to that intro, then I would say you're probably not a millennial or above, but even the generation after millennials probably know that beat, but I really don't know what to tell you. What's going on, everybody? This is Ryan A. Polk, and welcome to the wrap up. And today I'm going to review Tom and Jerry, which is directed by the legendary Tim Story. And this movie stars Tom and Jerry, Chloe Grace Mortez, Michael Pena, and Ken Jeong. And in this movie, it's your typical, well, I ain't gonna say, well, of course it is your typical. You got Tom and Jerry, they're going at it and they're comedic fights. But you got Jerry, who moves into this fancy hotel at the wrong time. He happens to move in during the time of a big wedding that is happening at this hotel. Almost like it's almost a royal wedding for real. And when one of the employees, who is played by Mortez, doesn't want to look bad on her job for planning this wedding, she hires Tom to take out Jerry because she doesn't want to lose her job and she doesn't want nothing bad to go at the hotel. So she depends on Tom to take out Jerry. And I'm pretty sure you already know how that's going to go. And this movie, when I first saw the trailer for this, I'm not going to lie, I was just so freaked out by the overtime of CGI effects that they had put into this, because it was way too much CGI, and it was looking kind of weird, because I just kept on thinking like, oh wow, I'm looking at Tom and Jerry as if I was on shrooms or something. But I couldn't say no at the same time, because I love the show ever since I was a kid. Still love the show today. Still watch it today. And Tom and Jerry is pretty much the reason why, of course, I wanted to go see it. So, went to go check it out. And this movie is actually one of the good movies of 2021. Like, I'm not going to lie. The storyline of the movie and the acting, Mortez, Michael Pena, and Ken Jeong, they all did their parts well. You got Michael Pena, who plays one of the managers at the hotel, and he's kind of like an antagonist in this a little bit. And you got Ken Jeong, who was like the head chef at the hotel. So yes, it was very entertaining from start to finish. The only thing I had to say that was maybe bad about this movie was the too much CGI effects in the movie. But other than that, I mean, my childhood was kind of brought back to me when Tom and Jerry was, having their fight scenes. I mean, it wasn't as classic as it was with the TV show, but it was still there and it still had me laughing. And Tom and Jerry is also, I think, a very entertaining for not just kids, but for adults as well, even for us millennials and generations before us who grew up watching Tom and Jerry. And if you are a fan of classic cartoons like Tom and Jerry, then I think that you will enjoy this. Now, this movie is also better than the one Tom and Jerry movie that had came out back in the 90s, Tom and Jerry the movie, the one where they was talking. Yeah, this movie way better than that. And like, seriously, it is. And I had enjoyed this so much more than that. This movie this definitely should have been the first Tom and Jerry movie to hit theaters instead of Tom and Jerry the movie that had came out in the 90s. And Tom and Jerry, it is something that I also do think that, it will bring, it will also bring, like entertainment and laughter, to kids, if they are not familiar with Tom and Jerry. And Tom and Jerry, it's if they was to make a sequel of this, I would even go see it because yes, it was very entertaining. I almost do want to see it again, to be honest. I really do. And I'm happy that I did go see it in theaters. I mean, I know it's also playing on HBO Max, and but if Tom and Jerry is playing in theaters in your city, then you should go check it out. Like if you feel like going to check it, if you feel like going out to the movies to go see it, I think that it will not be a waste of your money. And I kind of did jump to that answer already by saying, should you wait for this to go to the red box or should you go check it out? But that was pretty much my answer right there, obviously. So don't wait for it to go to Redbox, or if you do have HBO Max, definitely check it out on HBO Max because it is very good and not bad at all. I mean, you may be thinking like, okay, yeah, way too much CGI effects, but it's still good. And you also got other classic characters that are also in this movie too, such as Spike, the dog, and Butch, the cat, the one who always be messing with Tom sometimes. And of course, and with Spike, you already know when he comes across Tom, that's just more stress for Tom. But I'm not gonna go too much into the movie because if I do, then I feel like I'm gonna be spoiling it, and that is not what I do. So, for Tom and Jerry's grade, I give Tom and Jerry an A, and I almost want to give it an A plus, but I mean, again, the CGI effects, just overdid it with the CGI effects. And out of 5 stars, I give Tom and Jerry 4 out of 5 stars. So until then, this is Ryan A. Polk with the wrap up. And if you like this video, hit like. Feel free to comment below on what you thought about this review, or if you saw the movie, feel free to comment below on what you thought about the movie. And if you want to see more reviews from me, hit that subscribe button to see some more reviews.